everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey, and I am happy to share with you today this week, which is September 5th through 11th, 2016, and I am using the Big Happy Planner. I got one of these in January, and I was itching to use it, and then guess what? I've never used it. Once it got around to using it, I realized these pages are really big. And if I had a job outside the home, maybe like I went to work and then I came home and I had kids, it would be a perfect planner. So much space for writing all kinds of stuff. But as it turns out, that is not my situation. So I felt like maybe there was too much room. Anyway, so I never really got into it. This week, I am going to share with you how I am using stamps and stencils only. I had this itch to use stamps and stencils only and to use this planner, so I figured let's put them together. As you can see, I am using two old vintage Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse stamps to notate that we went to California Adventure. Because I was not using any stickers, I couldn't use the ones that I would maybe ordinarily use to notate such a thing, but it turned out awesome because I had these super old stamps in my stash and they don't work very well. They're rubber and the quality of them is sort of disintegrating. And so they did not turn out as awesome as maybe a really high quality photopolymer stamp would. But you know what? It's totally okay. It's not the big of a deal. And I think it still looks really cute. I wouldn't run out and buy any really old rubber stamps that are breaking down, but because I already have them, I totally could use them just right like that. So anyway, I colored in Minnie Mouse's bow with my Prismacolor colored pencils. They're really creamy and smooth, and they're just fun to color with, but they're totally not necessary. You could use some Crayola colored pencils, and you would have great success as well. Now, like I said, I'm only going to use stamps and stencils. So it was imperative that I pull out my favorite planning stamps to work with here. Now that Amy Tangerine stamp, I totally should have used that California stamp before I wrote California Adventure, but I didn't, and another time. But it's really cute, and I hope that I remember to use it next time because it was very adorable and would work great for writing down California Adventure. Now I have a whole handful of different 4x6 stamps from Big Picture classes and Scraptastic Club, but most of my favorites are from Sweet Stamp Shop, and you will see me using a couple of my favorites, which is this one right here. Seriously, the little stamp with the finger and the little string tied around the finger is epic. Like, I feel like I'm going to keep it on my desk and I'm just going to use it all the time because it's so stinking cute. And it's perfect for those things that you don't want to forget. So like putting it right there, it's so adorable. My eye is totally drawn to it. So I'm really loving that, and I feel like I should put it together in a little stamp of use me all the time. Now I'm breaking out some of the new to me pens. They are the Stabilo pens. They have that yellow body, and then the tips are different colors. I had been eyeballing them for months and months and months and months, and I had held strong, and then finally one day I was just like, yeah, no, totally gonna buy them. Now, as you can see, I'm going through some of my perfect planner stencils and figuring out how I can use them to not only make decorative things, but also super functional. And so like right here, I'm coloring in the fork, knife, and spoon with that thicker tip Stabilo pen so that I can notate for the entire week where my dinner plans are. Now, like I said already, this planner is enormous, so it's super awesome if you have a ton of stuff to keep track of. Because like right here, I can keep track of my dinner, I can keep track of my to-dos in that bottom box perfectly. Like no problem whatsoever. And then you still have two other blocks for awesome stuff. So that's fantastic. Now, I want to keep this planner as fun as I feel like most of my other weeks are as well. So that's where some of these things come in, like that little stamp with the finger and the string tied around it. It's just so stinking cute, and I'm super excited to use it because it does exactly that. It keeps it just as fun as I feel like every week is. And so again, just filling in a little reminder, something that I can't forget. I could absolutely put it down, 4 o'clock, do this. I absolutely could. But this is kind of one of those things that I'm not tied to, oh, it starts at this time. And so a reminder is a little bit better for me. Now, like I said, I'm not even just saying that. I feel like that stamp is going to get a lot of use. I'm going to use it a lot, especially now that I really have used it and totally fallen in love with it. Now I am using a color scheme this week of purple and green, and then of course I'm using black because that VersaFine ink is just my very favorite. So there's no way that I wouldn't use that unless I was just going for like a pastel theme or something like that. So I'm using pink, or not pink, purple, green, and black, and I'm sticking to that for my ink colors and my pen colors, and then also using washi that reflects those colors as well. I wanted to do that. I'm not exactly sure why. The color had just sort of popped in my head earlier in the week, and I was really hot to use it, and I decided that this was the perfect way to do that because I have those supplies. They're not colors I use often because I really don't like green, and so purple just isn't a color I use very often, but I totally like it. And so let's combine them together and they look fantastic. Anyway, that was kind of rambly. In that middle section, I had 3 events that I needed to notate. I went with 2 green and 1 black, and in hindsight, I should have gone with 3 green. It would have looked much better. But that's kind of the beauty with planning. I can try things this week, and if it's not exactly what I want, guess what? Next week I can tweak it. Or if I really didn't like it, I don't have to do it again. It's not something that I'm going to keep staring at the same thing over and over and over again. And quite frankly, if it bugged me that much, I could cover it with something else. So in this case, I could totally just throw down a sticker right on top of it, and that wouldn't have been a problem at all. Now I'm using those cute little balls, the soccer ball and the baseball from Sweet Stamp Shop, and then also that super cute tooth. Who knew a tooth was cute, right? Anyway, I'm using those to put inside the little circle event. I want to say box, but it's not a box because it's a circle, but in that little circle to notate the event, and it's really adorable. I think maybe it's the solid line with the little dash lines, something like that. It just is really, really fun, and I like it a lot. Now, I'm adding the washi just to the top of this to-do box. I'm not sure what inspired me to do that, probably just to change it up and probably just to add a little bit of decoration to this particular side of the layout, because as you can see now I am adding that Happy Planner purple polka dot washi tape also, and it's super cute by the way. But I don't know that I love the placement of it in the little to-do box down at the bottom, but again, it's okay. It's totally okay. I just won't do it again. And if it really bugged me that much, I could pull it up because washi tape is super easy. And it's also super easy to remove. Now in the Wednesday, I used that stencil to create an event box. And let me tell you, I can see myself doing this 100 more times. It was epic. The box is big. It's great for writing. Now in the normal size Happy Planner, yes, it would maybe be a little bit big and you would maybe need a smaller one. But in this size planner, it is awesome, and I can't say enough good things about it. And I can't say enough good things about having a simple box for writing an event in. I often use stickers, and even if they're just colorful, they're more decorative. This really just adds that getting it done type of thing. Now I'm going to stamp this pencil. It's from Sweet Stamp Shop, and I, of course, don't stamp it right. I need to stamp it twice because I miss a little spot, and it needs more ink. And I wish now that I had maybe laid it flat, and then I could have just written in a straight line underneath it, but it's okay. Again, you know, I like to try things new, and speaking of trying things new, I'm adding this little bit of script right there to write late start. I don't love my script there either. And I guess that really just has more to do with probably the pen, if you want to know the truth. It's probably not so much about the writing. I probably just don't want to do script with that thick of a tip. Now that I've got most of the work done for the left side, I'm going to finish up with that stencil, putting down the little check boxes for my to-do list. Now the cool thing about a stencil is that if I decide I want to add more, I can layer it on top of the ones I've already done and then add as many as I need. And it's so easy. No masking, no covering it up to not get ink on it. It's just simple. Now let's move on to the second half of the week. As we've talked about in weeks previous, I don't always have that many activities for the weekend, and so I kind of just hit Thursday with my to-dos and my lists, and then the weekends usually end up being either a little bit more decorative or a little bit more empty. Now, so far, I'm not loving how the week is coming together. And that is probably because it's different, if you want to know the truth. It is hard to often, at least for me, embrace things when they're new. Like they have to kind of grow on me a little bit, and then I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I love it. It's gorgeous." And I know that in the end I will like it because I like other people's spreads that are just stamped or maybe adding some simple stenciling as well. Now, right there, I was going through my stash of happy birthday stamp sets because I wanted to add something for Thursday because Thursday was my son's birthday. And I am not thrilled with the choice in the end, but I didn't really have one that was going to work for what I needed it to do. And I didn't have like the perfect birthday cake or something like that. So I made do with this cute balloon. It's got a lot of negative open space and then that star, and then just adding the little string to add the whimsy and just making it a little bit more fun since it is a birthday. Now if I owned purple stamping ink, this would have been the the perfect place for this. It would have been a little bit more colorful and cheerful, but I didn't. And I do not like green, so I'm not going to make a birthday green. And so I decided to go with the black instead. And that's totally fine because what it is while it's not cheerful and colorful, it is bold and bright, and it definitely says all the things I need it to say and has the proper attention placed on it because of its bright and not bright, really more bold is what I would call it. Anyway, so there, for the whole morning box, I've notated that it's my son's birthday. And the awesome part about that is that we didn't have that much else going on Thursday, and so I could take that entire box to tell the story that I needed to tell, which was that it was my son's birthday. How many more times can I say that? Now, this More Tab stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop is wonderful. There are probably 4 or 5 different stamps in that I absolutely love them. It's not even like, oh yeah, I really like them. No, I totally love them. Like both of them right here that I use, that little box with the circle, it's super crisp and it just really is perfect for putting little small icons and then writing a few words about an event. And then it's also the one right below it with the double lines that kind of looks like a label. Again, super cool. I really am happy with it. And I can see that this is going to be a set that I am going to get a lot of use out of. So now because of the green color that I chose for that box, I'm going to use the purple pen for both of the boxes. And I'm really happy with that, and I really do like the purple and the green mixed together. Looks really cute right there. Now I also have this little cute script list set, and it's from, I think List is the name of the set. And it's got the cute pencils and pens, and it's really adorable. And then I also have this little star checklist, which ties in perfectly with the star balloon. You see how I did that? I tied those two things together, not even really noticing it at the time, but it's kind of perfect. So now Friday, I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to take this huge speech bubble on this stencil, and then I'm going to take the little journaling lines and put them in there, and that is my to-do list. Now, I'm still kind of looking at that. Again, I don't love it, but as I say, every time I do something I don't love, it really doesn't matter. It's okay. I will look at this for 4 days, and then I will flip it over, and it's not that big of a deal. Now, this week was a little bit different. We did have some activities going on Saturday because it is the start of all of our fall sports. And so my son is going to a football game, and my younger son has a baseball scrimmage, and then my youngest son has a soccer game. So we do have quite a few different little activities going on. And so I'm first using that big box, and it's from the first Sweet Stamp Shop basic tabs set. And again, this is probably my favorite one from that stamp set, and I don't get to use it that much because it's pretty big, but for some reason, I think it's that crisp, bold outside line and then the little dashed line on the inside, and I think that it really just draws my attention to it. It's great for writing. And then you also have the circle, which we used earlier in the week with the little soccer ball, and it looks fantastic too. Now this is just beautiful. This is this Whimsy Weekend stamp set, and it is a perfect little banner, header, whatever you want to call it, type stamp to notate the weekend. And it's gorgeous. It's got all these beautiful florals and it's super cute. And as you can see right there, it really looks great up on the top there. And then for your smaller happy planner, it fits a little bit better size-wise. Obviously, most things are not sized for the big happy planner because the big happy planner is big, right? Now I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape for decoration, and this is the one that I used on the other side as well, and I only used it on the top of that small to-do list. So I'm going to trim a larger strip and use it right there, just to add a little bit more color and fun as well. Now the last thing I'm going to do is add one activity for Sunday afternoon, and then that will be it for planning this particular week. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, I would really love it if you'd leave me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like the video, and it also lets YouTube know what you like to see. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.